Vitam, 2025, unfolds in a future where scientific advancements have eradicated aging, granting humanity the gift of near immortality. However, this extraordinary progress has led to societal adaptations fraught with complications. The film centers on Frank Lazarev, a former elite officer grappling with the demons of his past as he seeks to forge a new existence amidst escalating violence and conspiracy. The film opens with Frank attempting to establish a peaceful life after his tenure with the GIGN, France's top police tactical unit. He and his expectant wife Leo eagerly await the arrival of their child, yearning for a life away from the perils associated with Frank's former career. Nonetheless, a troubling series of mysterious break-ins at their home suggests a darker agenda at play. Frank is oblivious to the underlying reason for these intrusions. One fateful night, their home is suddenly invaded and Leo is taken hostage by assailants demanding a specific briefcase which Frank has never heard of. Tensions escalate as Frank's refusal to cooperate leads to torment by the intruders. One of the masked men ominously informs Frank that revealing the truth will not absolve his guilt, hinting at a hidden connection to Frank's previous life. In a dire moment as the captors prepare for execution, Frank exploits their moment of distraction to launch a ferocious counterattack, liberating Leo but not without consequences as she suffers a gunshot wound to her shoulder. With Leo bleeding profusely and time running out, Frank hastily escapes, rushing her to safety while calling on his former comrade Ben for assistance. Ben, still connected to the GIGN, ensures Leo receives medical help while Frank confronts the attackers on his own. Tormented by his past, Frank delves into the motivations behind the assault. His investigation circles back to the infamous Trianon Hotel shooting, an event wherein he played a role during his GIGN service. Initially branded as a botched burglary, emerging evidence paints a different picture. The two supposed thieves killed were in fact covert operatives, leaving hints of a much larger cover-up. Driven by a quest for truth, Frank locates an investigative journalist who has been probing into the shadowy organization behind the events. She unveils that the men killed at Trianon were affiliated with a rogue intelligence faction involved in classified military technology dealings. The revelations Frank uncovers have the potential to reverberate through global intelligence landscapes, forcing him to confront both his past and the dangerous present that threatens to ensnare him. Leo remains in the hospital recovering but still in peril as the forces hunting Frank not only seek a briefcase but also aim to eliminate any potential threats, including Frank's family. Ben, despite his diminished resources from the GIGN, stays by Leo's side. Frank, now a fugitive, must navigate his surroundings in secrecy. While investigating, he uncovers a pivotal name: Colonel Lefebvre, an influential intelligence officer engaged in covert operations and the mastermind behind the hunt for him, ensuring classified information remains hidden. The narrative escalates when Frank gains access to crucial evidence, a badge stained with DNA from the Trianon shooting directly connecting Lefebvre's operatives to the incident. Recognizing the significance of this proof, Frank prepares to expose it, which would jeopardize Lefebvre's elaborate cover-up. However, before he can act, Frank is ambushed in a brutal attack. In the chaos, Ben heroically sacrifices himself to allow Frank to escape. Overwhelmed with grief but driven by a desire for vengeance, Frank refuses to abandon his mission. With limited options, Frank executes a daring plan. He infiltrates a government facility, leveraging his past ties to bypass their stringent security measures. He successfully leaks the DNA evidence to the media, ensuring that the truth will be revealed even if he does not survive to witness it. As Lefebvre's men close in, a violent confrontation ensues. Frank battles his attackers, fiercely taking down multiple assailants despite incurring significant injuries. His determination to fight for justice remains unyielding until the authorities arrive, ultimately leading to his arrest. However, the exposure of the evidence triggers a massive scandal within the French intelligence community, resulting in Lefebvre's arrest and the unraveling of a long-standing cover-up. Months pass and Frank, now incarcerated, receives a heartfelt visit from Leo, who brings their newborn child. Their reunion is tinged with bittersweet emotions. While Frank has lost his freedom, he has secured a future for his family. In addition, the backdrop of the film is set in a futuristic society devoid of natural aging, which, while seemingly utopian, fosters generational tensions as the youth grapple with the absence of natural life cycles. The plot weaves around Frank Lazarev, a former elite officer, as he delves deep into a conspiracy that threatens to destabilize this new societal framework, showcasing themes of sacrifice, justice, and the quest for truth amidst a manufactured ideal. Frank, a former member of France's elite GIGN tactical police, seeks a peaceful life with his pregnant wife Leo. However, their tranquility is shattered by a series of disturbing break-ins at their home, indicating that someone may be searching for something that only Frank could unknowingly hold. One fateful night, masked intruders invade their home, violently abducting Leo. They demand a specific briefcase, but Frank, bewildered, asserts his ignorance regarding their request. His defiance results in him facing brutal interrogation, during which one captor ominously tells him that revealing the truth won't absolve him of his guilt. As the situation escalates, the intruders prepare to kill Frank. Seizing a fleeting opportunity, he overpowers one of them and acquires a weapon, though Leo is accidentally shot in the shoulder during the ensuing chaos. With his wife bleeding and desperate to flee, Frank fights through the home and manages to get her to safety. He contacts his former colleague Ben, who is still active in the GIGN. Ben rushes Leo to the hospital while Frank, now branded a fugitive, stays behind to uncover the perpetrators behind the attack. Frank's investigation leads him to revisit his past, specifically a tragic event known as the Trianon Hotel shooting. Initially believed to be a botched burglary, new evidence points to a deeper conspiracy. The deceased were not mere criminals but intelligence operatives, suggesting that their true mission has been carefully hidden. As Frank digs deeper, he discovers a vast cover-up connected to a shadowy organization. He allies with an investigative journalist who has been unraveling this mystery. She exposes that the men killed during the Trianon incident were involved with a rogue intelligence faction that trafficked in classified military technologies. The implications of this revelation could expose an underground conflict between intelligence agencies, potentially destabilizing governments. While Frank pursues the trail of evidence, Leo remains under constant surveillance in the hospital as the threats against them escalate. The adversaries pursuing Frank are not only after the briefcase but also aim to eliminate all loose ends, including his family. Although Ben works tirelessly to protect Leo, the mounting danger compels Frank to remain vigilant. The investigation ultimately leads him to Colonel Lefebvre, a high-ranking intelligence officer deeply involved in covering up unauthorized operations. Lefebvre has been orchestrating the hunt for Frank, intent on silencing him to maintain the secrecy of the classified information that could unravel his machinations. Pursuit of truth can ignite change. In his relentless quest for justice, Frank uncovers vital evidence that links the deadly shooting at the Trianon Hotel to the nefarious actions of Lefebvre's operatives. Among this proof, he discovers a blood-stained badge, a key to unraveling the conspiratorial web. However, just as he prepares to leverage this crucial find, he finds himself ambushed by Lefebvre's elite assassins. In the chaotic shootout that ensues, Frank's close companion Ben heroically sacrifices himself, buying Frank vital moments to escape the lethal grip of Lefebvre's ruthless henchmen. The loss of his friend weighs heavily on Frank, yet he understands the urgency of his mission and knows he can't relent now. Motivated by a blend of desperation and determination, Frank decides to take drastic measures and boldly infiltrates a high-security intelligence facility. Utilizing his previous connections, he gains access to classified files and successfully leaks crucial DNA evidence to the media, ensuring that the scandal surrounding Lefebvre reaches the public, saying to himself that if he were to fall, the truth must survive. The ensuing weeks lead to a painful climax as Lefebvre's men converge for a final confrontation. What follows is a grueling battle that strains Frank both physically and emotionally. Although he suffers numerous injuries, the fire within him refuses to extinguish. With sheer grit, he manages to eliminate multiple elite operatives but ultimately finds himself overwhelmed by the increasingly dangerous situation. As the authorities close in, Frank is captured, reminiscent of the stark realities of his stand against the corruption that runs rampant around him. However, the information he leaked ensures that the scandal surrounding Lefebvre and his associates cannot simply be buried. Months roll by and Frank finds himself confined in prison. Yet in a poignant moment of reconnection, he receives a visit from Leo, who brings along their newborn child. This reunion, full of warmth yet marked by bittersweet reality, underscores the sacrifices he made. Although his personal freedom has been stripped away, the safety and future of his family have been secured. In the film's concluding scenes, a news report reveals the significant ramifications stemming from the intelligence scandal. High-ranking officials have resigned and a political crisis unfolds, demonstrating that Frank's actions haven't been in vain. As he watches the report prepare to unfold from his prison cell, a flicker of satisfaction spreads across his face, symbolizing his unwavering belief that even amidst extensive deception, the quest for truth can generate profound change. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.